T.I.'s son, King. King Harris has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected to his action.
He's like that. So him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, you know, he just don't care.
King Harris didn't just get jumped in prison. He was erased. That's how the footage looks when slowed down frame by frame. The son of rap royalty sprawled out on a concrete floor while alarms glare and guards rush and far too late to matter. 1 second he's walking the block, chin high, shoulders squared. The next he's swallowed by chaos. We've all seen celebrity meltdowns before, but what's surfacing from that Georgia facility doesn't look like a scuffle gone wrong. It looks like a message. And if insiders are right, the message wasn't meant for King alone. It was meant for the Harris name.
Here's our issue with King. First off, the kid's a menace, right? He goes around. No, I'm serious. Yo, King, listen. King goes around terrorizing the community of Atlanta, bro. That's a fact, bro. I'm serious, bro.
Before we get there, let's rewind. The spiral didn't begin with fists. It began in 2022 when King was arrested for speeding through Dunwee. Allegedly under the influence, his license suspended. He posted bail, flashed smiles online, and treated the court date like an inconvenience. When he skipped it, a bench warrant followed. But rather than keeping quiet, King doubled down, bragging about standing on business and mocking the law like it was another storyline for social media. By September 2024, when the warrant caught up with him, he walked into custody wearing confidence like armor. Except armor doesn't help when the hits are coming from every direction. Those who saw him during intake say he behaved more like a reality star than an inmate. He joked with guards, posed in his reflection, and name-dropped his father, the self-proclaimed king of the South. To him, jail looked like another season of Family Hustle, just without the cameras. But inside that performance was a liability. Prison doesn't reward celebrity. It feeds on it. Within days, whispers started spreading. Too rich, too loud, too connected. The youngest Harris wasn't blending in. He was a prize.
Still trying to coddle him for. Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he needs to do.
By midweek, other inmates had reportedly begun mocking his TV past, calling him Hollywood. One source described how King bragged that he didn't need a crew because his family would handle anything for him. That kind of talk inside those walls paints a target. And just like that, the privileged son, who tried to become a street legend, found himself living in a world where legends are tested in blood. What happened next is still under investigation, but the leaked footage fills in the blanks. The camera catches King pacing near a hallway corner, then suddenly freezing as 3 men step into frame. The feed glitches. When it clears, he's on the floor motionless, a blur of motion above him. Guards rush in seconds later, but the damage is done. Blood on the tiles. Echoes of laughter. The clip ends with King being dragged out under guard escort, his face swollen, eyes barely open. We've seen countless jailhouse fights, but this one feels staged, almost cinematic. Too many coincidences, too many blind spots.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family Hustle. Right. And it does come with some, it's some adversity. Mm-hmm. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your business.
Yeah.
Staff sources have already admitted off the record that guards were pulled to another block moments before the attack. Cameras in that section malfunctioned simultaneously, which officials chalked up to technical error, but former inmates call that explanation impossible. Cameras don't just glitch at the exact moment someone gets ambushed. One said they break when someone wants them to. If true, that means this wasn't just rage, it was orchestration. Outside, the internet caught fire. Hashtags exploded. Commentators dissected every frame. And memes mocked the once cocky rapper as a soft kid playing tough. The same fans who cheered his defiance at the Falcons game months earlier were now replaying that live stream, connecting dots. That night at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we watched T.I. put his son in a headlock after King ranted about growing up in the hood. Tiny's laughter, Ty's anger, it all went viral, and King doubled down, promising that nobody would ever test him again. Fast forward to the cell block, and that promise feels like the setup for his fall. We can't ignore how his family's history made the situation even more volatile. The Harises have weathered everything from defamation lawsuits to trafficking allegations, always managing to stay one step ahead of scandal. But behind those headlines lies a pattern of unfinished business and quiet enemies. When T.I. called himself King of the South, older rappers warned him that every king invites challengers. Maybe this was the prophecy playing out, not on a stage, but in a prison corridor. Reports from inside say King had grown reckless. He was allegedly filming short clips talking about real time in the trenches, unaware that cameras behind bars are contraband. Inmates didn't take kindly to the performance. They saw a rich boy pretending hardship for likes. The moment he tried to flex his father's name, he crossed a line. Because behind those walls, your name can save you or destroy you.
Me and my dad, man, we had a relationship. Like, it was like to the point to where he know me, I know you. But it was almost like Ghost and Tariq in Power, bro.
Then came the whispers that turned the beating into a mystery. Several inmates claimed King had gotten into a dispute over contraband payments, something about owing favors he couldn't deliver. Others think he was silenced because of something bigger. That wasn't about him. One source said that was a warning to his father. T has no shortage of enemies, from music rivals to legal adversaries, and his ongoing feud with accuser Sabrina Peterson has been heating up again in court. For those who see power plays behind every scandal, it's easy to connect the dots. A family dragged through years of accusations suddenly finds their son brutalized in custody. Too convenient to ignore. Inside the Harris mansion, chaos reportedly erupted. Tiny, desperate for answers, began pushing for immediate transfers and medical updates. T.I., meanwhile, was on the phone with lawyers, strategists, and possibly old favors from Atlanta's political circuit. Insiders say he offered whatever it took to move his son to safer ground, even promising silent repayment to unnamed officials. But the damage control didn't stop there. Tiny wanted PR first. T wanted blood. 2 parents, 2 plans, 1 unraveling legacy.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.